All right, good morning, everybody. We are so happy to have you here this morning on our wake-up call. We have been going through the book, Little Things Matter, 100 Ways to Improve Your Life Today. And I'm excited today to have one of my good friends and also business partners, Mr. Andi Duli, on the line today. He is coming to us from all the way on the East Coast, up in North Carolina. Lives on a beautiful lake with his amazing family, and he's been a very important part of my life, and I'm grateful for him. So, Mr. Andi, are you here?
I am here. Thank you, Jennifer. Good morning, everybody. Beautiful day here this morning in Lake Tuxaway, North Carolina. Got a good chapter that I'm going to be reading over. Just a couple of paragraphs. It's called Project a Positive Image Over the Phone. This is a big one, especially, to strengthen relationships and business and so forth. So here we go. If we stop to think about how much business is transacted over the phone in any given day, it's wise to be conscious of your telephone speaking voice, the words you use and how you conduct yourself during a call. So below are 10 tips to help give you or to help you make a positive impression. Number one, prepare for the call. So this is a big one. Before making business calls, especially, take the time to prepare for the call. The more prepared you are, the more confident you will sound. Jot down the topics or the questions you want to talk about or the questions that you need to ask. Number two is begin by introducing yourself, especially during business calls. Whenever you place a call, always start by introducing yourself to whoever answers the phone. Don't keep the person wondering who you are or why you're calling. Number three, and this is a big one, focus on your energy. I heard Cindy from Nebraska just jumped on the call a moment ago, and you could just hear her energy on the phone. I bet she was smiling and she was cheerful and upbeat, and automatically people just like you. So the author says, people who sound upbeat and positive make a better impression than those who don't. Be aware of your energy, your voice tone, and your speed. Sound like you're relaxed and unhurried, happy to be alive, and that you're genuinely pleased to be speaking to that person. When people normally call me and say, hey, how you doing? Or how are you, Andi? I always say, man, I'm blessed. I'm doing wonderful. And I have people that I chat with or business partners. When I call sometimes, I'm like, how you doing? And it's interesting when you hear not too bad, hanging in there, all right, I guess. Automatically they bring your energy low. So be mindful of that. Number four, be friendly. I mean, it's a know, like, and trust in business, right? If you're friendly and if they like you, they know you, they trust you, they buy from you. And the author says people are naturally drawn to considerate and likable, friendly people. Whether you're talking to a coworker, to a friend, a prospective client, or even a CEO of a company during an interview, just sound friendly. When you speak with a smile on your face, with a distinct pronunciation, and slow enough that the listener doesn't have to ask you to repeat something, people will be more likely to do business with you, join you or your company. So being friendly, I think it's one of the most important things, in life and business, because it's all about relationships, and this is one thing that really can strengthen the relationships. Number five, make people feel comfortable. When speaking with someone for the first time, you may sense that they're timid and apprehensive, and that's like almost everybody, right, guys? So be sociable, be pleasant, and make them feel relaxed. This always results in a more productive conversation. Number six, speak with a confident tone. Whether you realize it or not, you are presenting your personal brand every time you have a conversation with someone. And before people will trust you, before they believe in you, or before they buy anything you have to offer, they must first like you, or they must first buy you. And your confidence is one of the most important things. And it's actually, it's like a muscle, certainty. You can, from a scale of 1 to 10, if I were to ask you this morning, where are you right now between, 1 being uncertain at all, 10, you're like the eyes of an eagle, present, focused. Let's say if you're a 6, if I were to ask you, how can you get to a 7 or 8? What would have to happen? What would you have to do to get to an 8? Whether it's, get relaxed, shoulders back, chest high, 2-3 deep breaths, and get present. That certainty and that confidence, you guys, is so important in business. And the author says they won't give credibility to what you're saying if you don't present yourself as a confident person, even if you don't feel it. It's a good old saying, act the way you want to feel, and soon you feel the way you act. So emotion always follows actions. I learned this in business. I learned this, before speaking in public or phone calls. I will act a certain way, and sure enough, the emotions always follows. Number 7, and I love this one, follow the 2-second rule. Since you cannot see the people you're speaking with, it's hard to know if they're finished with their thought or if they're pausing to go before going to the next sentence. And it's always a good idea to wait 2 seconds before they're finished. If you start to talk before they're finished, then you'll have to stop, and then you're like, oh, pardon me, or I'm sorry, go ahead. And that affects the quality of the conversation. I look back to the conversations I've had with people, and it's interesting that right now, I remember a handful, and the ones I remember, you guys, are the people that literally had a pause after I finished and before they responded. And by them doing that once or twice, they just set the tone for me as well to do the same thing. It's not a natural thing for most conversations, but if you do it, you will set the tone in conversations, and it becomes a much more pleasant experience, and you can get your point across. You can understand each other better, and in business, oh my gosh, this makes a huge difference. Number 8, I love this one. I do this almost every time, especially on business calls. He says, carry a notepad. Basically, take notes on people. When I'm conducting a business call, I often take notes, the author says. Sometimes these notes concern things that will be my responsibility after the call is finished. If I write them down, I will not forget. On other occasions, I make notes of things I want to share or discuss when it's my turn to talk. Writing down my thoughts during the conversation enables me to focus on the subject rather than trying to remember what I want to convey, where I laughed. And by the way, that also affects listening in a deep level. If the person is saying or is sharing and you don't take notes, now you're trying to remember what you will say next. You miss that deeper connection or listening at a deep level. And I truly believe magic happens when you go from listening to really understanding at a deep level. It creates a magic connection with the person in a subconscious level. So taking notes can really help you do that. Number 9, avoid using a hands-free device. If you're having an important conversation, speak directly into the phone rather than using a speakerphone, right? The problem with most hands-free devices is that it's harder for other people to hear what you're saying. Background noise can be distracting, and if you don't want to hold the phone next to your ear, purchase a high-quality hands-free device. When I'm on a speakerphone with somebody and I hear them, and especially if their voice sounds distant, I automatically know that they are multitasking, they are doing something else, and I'm not important. So that's, I think, it's a great tip. Number 10, and our final one, is avoid using a speakerphone. I guess I just mentioned, I went over this. Turning on your speakerphone can be even more annoying than using a hands-free device. Unless you are in a room with a group of people who are part of your conversation, do not use your speakerphone. Even if you're calling your best friend or a family member, show them the courtesy of talking directly over the phone. And here is the challenge. His challenge is perform a self-evaluation when you're on the phone call today, when you make phone calls today. Be mindful of your rate, of your tone, your speed, your energy level, your etiquette, and starting now become intentional about how you present yourself in all your personal and business calls. I think there is room for every single person, for improvement, and this one is so key, guys, because we conduct so many business calls and, staying in touch. And every time we meet somebody, we're always making a deposit or we're making a withdrawal. And by being present, especially by liking people, I think one of the most important things in enriching our relationships is thinking right towards people. When you think right towards people, you send that vibe, and people can always read your vibe. When you think poorly or negatively, towards other people, they can also sense that. And over the phone, it's even so important. Also, I have a mirror on my desk as a reminder to smile. When you smile, it comes through, and if you smile, you send good vibes. When you send good vibes, they will send you good vibes back, and the connection becomes even better. So with that said, Jennifer, I'd love to pass it to you for any closing thoughts here.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andi. These are all excellent reminders for me. There's a couple that I wanted to hit on. The carry a notepad for me. There's many times I think in my brain, oh, I've got this. I'll remember that, but it's very false. I'll forget it and it'll go away fast, especially when I get carried up in a conversation. So the notepad is always number one for me. I have one in front of me right now. And also where it mentioned avoid using a hands-free device, but it talks about getting a high quality, the earbuds or something. And I have the iPods for my iPhone, the pods, but for me, if I have that, I also have to have a clear space in front of me. I have to have a clear workspace because without a doubt, my hands are free. That's what it's called, a hands-free device. And my hands will start trying to do something around me, pull something, tie something. Before I know it, I'm distracted for that conversation. So that is an extremely important one for me, it helps me to be present as having that clear space in front of me where I'm not sidetracked with everything else. And then you already read the challenge, but the last thing I'll say is that how you present yourself over the phone is a reflection of your personal brand. So just remember, project your excitement, project your smile, have that smile on your face, your attentiveness, and show you care, because that's all it is. A lot of people can think, oh, that won't project for the phone, but it 100% does. So anything else you want to add, Andi, on that?
Yeah, before we close, I think, especially in business, people skills and your likability, I think, is one of the most important factors, because, I mean, you can take any business and you can have people in that company that make a fortune and some that don't. And you can think about same company, same product, same marketplace, maybe same tools. What makes a difference? And I think what makes a difference is, their self-image, how they see themselves, which is basically their confidence. It's what we talked about. But to be more confident, you just do the things that make you like yourself more. Basically, be present, listen to a deep, in a deep level, honor the other person you're talking with, be mindful of your energy, because I've always believed that your energy introduces you before you even go and shake somebody's hand. Your energy especially will introduce you to everybody on the phone the moment you say hello. So by being mindful of that, just realize that you are building your personal brand in life and business, and you're enriching and depositing into relationships, or you're withdrawing and your relationships will suffer. So with that said, appreciate you guys being here this morning. I hope you have a blessed day, and remember to smile on your next phone call. So Jennifer, let's unmute the lines and tell everybody good morning and goodbye. Have a good day, you guys.